out. Live from the My Insurance Group media room. It's the Homes and Homies podcast where we talked about homes, topics, trending stuff, and just cool stuff.
Just cool stuff.
We got John Handsome Hanson over there chowing down on a brownie. Delicious.
It's so good.
Can you move the mic closer so I can hear you chew?
Nom, nom, nom.
Nom, nom.
Oh, yes, daddy.
I just got some...
You gotta know it. These guys are awesome.
Anybody else notice how this year just kind of flew by?
I just got drool on the mic.
John just... we'll keep it PG right now.
Dude,
John just swallowed the mic.
These brownies are amazing.
They look delicious. They smell delicious.
Here goes 1,000 calories.
Oh, it's
That's
okay.
only 1,500.
Sweet.
I've always wondered.
Have you tried this yet? These are awesome.
With Gina's baking, how Mike has managed to stay so skinny.
Oh.
Because he runs 30 miles a week.
I'm getting fat. I'm feeling it. It's coming.
Dude, that is heavy.
Can I get a oh yeah?
Oh, yeah?
It is good.
That is really...
Has the year flown by for anybody else, or is it just...
No, just
No,
you.
not really. It's just
Is it
been you,
just
honestly.
really?
Yeah, just for you.
Maybe it's been slow and painful, honestly.
Maybe it's just been title.
So,
I'm tired of saying survive till 25.
here's how mine went. January, February.
Pretty slow.
And it felt like really, really slow until July hit.
Yeah, July was pretty busy.
Yeah.
July
July was real busy.
Yeah, July, August, September, October have been pretty quick. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, but yeah, the first half of this year, I was like, oh my god, what? This 6 months is the longest decade I've ever had.
Yeah.
Anybody go out and vote yet?
No, because the lines have been really, really long.
I did yesterday.
I want to, but I've been too lazy.
I was going to stop, and the line was halfway down that because it was just over 88. So I was like, yeah, nope, not happening today.
But I'm going to get it done because I'm not waiting in line come actual day of.
This was my wife's first time voting.
Wow.
Yeah, she's 27. She never really saw the,
Need?
importance. Oh yeah, need maybe. She's old-fashioned either, so she might be pre-suffrage era soul.
This is a very important election. This is for our democracy.
Yeah, we had her dad.
As the left will say.
We had her dad come over, watch the kids, and she took off and voted while I was at work. And she's like, "Who do I vote for?" It's like, that's a good question.
Isn't it crazy, like, all the people standing outside that have, like, signs and they come and heckle you to, like, hey, vote for this guy, vote for this guy.
I'm just tired of the text messages from both sides. I'm like, dude, stop, please stop. Like, just stop texting me.
Wait, you
Stop
get
spamming.
text messages? I feel left out.
You don't get the spam messages?
Hell no.
Ted Cruz called me yesterday. We talked for like 25 minutes and I listened to it, kept going. And then President Trump got on there. He talked too for a while. And he said, thanks for listening. Hang up on me. I don't know.
That's great. That's great.
We're
It was the best call
America
ever.
great again.
So what is this? Is this so we can watch someone eat it?
So, no, we're going to cut this guy next. This is a apple cider cinnamon roll. It
was really
best.
good. I've already eaten one, all of one today. So
If
I'm
you
gonna.
think that's good, I think this is even better.
Oh, man.
So cut that guy. Cut me, Mick.
We'll cut.
So how does somebody get access to Gina's Bakery?
That's
You know what?
Is that a
She's-
euphemism? It's inappropriate.
The fact that you went there.
That's his wife, bro.
He said it.
Hey, it's almost 18 years coming up in 7 days.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, man.
I always say, so Claudia and I have been married 11, and I always say it's felt like 11 minutes.
Underwater.
Yes.
I got that from you, Doug.
Yes.
That's a great joke.
From day one, you felt like you were drowning.
Yeah.
He's like, no, but seriously, I love you, Claudette. if she's watching. So I've been married 10 years now.
Gross.
How does she put up with you for 10 years?
I don't know.
I'm on my second marriage, so it's
I was like, hey, let's start a business. And I started the business like, okay, now you're in control. Go have fun.
smart. Empowerment.
Empower her.
I'm eating a piece of this. This is awesome. This is one of the best things.
That brownie is delicious.
Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins.
So before we get into DeAndre Hopkins, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like brownies.
But those.
That was the best brownie I've ever eaten in my life. Maybe because it was like a cross between an Oreo cookie and just like some deep dark chocolate that, I don't know, whatever was in there was delicious though.
I'm obsessed with Oreos.
Yeah.
Everybody says should start a bakery.
She should.
And she's like Ancient Grains Bakery. She's got the website already picked out.
Yeah, she should totally do it.
So there's a conspiracy theory that says, and this is serious, that they're able to correlate the symbol that whenever they do some sort of like flavor change or the specific on an Oreo, it usually happens right before an economic crash. And they actually like proved it. So we should
So
pull
you're
that
saying
up and talk
Oreo
about it.
is causing the economy to tank.
I wouldn't go that far.
So that's Nabisco.
But I will say Oreos are flat. So
I think they're round though. They're round.
Something to be said there.
It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Dude, where do you come up with these conspiracies? Like, I
don't make them up.
And he doesn't have
I
a TikTok.
believe you. I want to know where you're like, what conspiracy theory, like,
Bank.
yeah, like, I mean, you're just like, hey, so I've got a group of friends, we're gonna meet up over at the Cloak and Dagger, and we're just gonna talk about a couple of things that are probably going on.
Guys, thanks for showing up to my Bible study. We're going to take this over to conspiracy theory time at the Hoppy Monk.
Is it the? Oh, so it is at the Hoppy
That's
Monk.
the conspiracy theory hub. Get a little
like
jacked
every
up on
Friday,
some
every
stouts and
every
jalapeno.
Friday from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. we just sit around and talk about.
All right, Gino, what's in the brownies?
And then in order to talk, you have to pass this like flat globe.
It's like this plate. You gotta like pass the plate around.
No, we pass an Oreo.
This Oreo right here explains why the world is flat.
It's your speaking torch.
He probably goes down the Reddit threads.
No, I don't like Reddit, man.
So, update on the HOA battle. It's officially over. I don't know if y'all heard this or
No,
not.
I missed
but
this.
I led an insurrection of the HOA board.
Oh, tell me more.
What's it, January 6th?
No, not really.
October 6th.
It got rowdy at the HOA meeting.
Usually does.
2 of the members got voted off,
Good.
fortunately. And it's a lot nastier than we thought financially.
Yeah. No, I mean, you told me what you thought, and it seemed pretty nasty.
It got pretty. I mean, we had sheriffs there.
Wow.
Did you have
That's
Jeffrey
exciting.
Epstein on the board?
Shoot. Nah. Pretty close, but
just
no.
P. Diddy.
No, we didn't have no.
So was there a little embezzlement going on?
That's going to get uncovered here pretty soon if there was or not. If not, it was just a lot of mismanagement. But somehow the HOA has managed to blow through $400,000 in the last 8 years. Completely annihilate a replacement fund that we're supposed to have as a backup fund. And
Any capital expenditures?
no,
Where did that money go?
bingo.
Wow.
Sugars.
We were paying $14,000 to replace mailboxes.
Wow. Those must be some really nice mailboxes.
They are very fancy. They got lights on them and everything. No, not really. It's just a standard mailbox. But my intuition was that there was some stuff going on.
Some misappropriation of funds.
Exactly.
Or just poor management?
We're just gonna. It could be just poor management. It could just be.
400,000 sounds like a lot, but when you go over 8 years, you're like, eh. Like, I mean, like the landscaping, the
Yeah.
upkeep. I mean, like there's certain things that are.
But the problem is that when you have a neighborhood that's in a board that's bringing in over $400,000 a year, to blow through 400,000 on top of that 400,000 that you're taking in is astronomical.
So it's 800,000.
So their expenses are about 400,000 a year, or supposed to be.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah, they're supposed to be.
And they went through 800,000.
And they went it through, but they went through the other 400 over 8 years.
over 8 years.
So if you divide that out, they're going through an extra.
So like this year alone, we had a $222,000
Like 50 grand.
expenditure overage from the 400,000.
He also identified instances where things were billed, invoiced, canceled, and then still charged to the account.
Where'd that money go?
That's the big question.
Right.
And our new treasurer, ex-military, financial guy, doctor. Hopefully he's going to peel that onion back because I want to know where it went.
Oh, for sure. Well,
Some forensic accounting
I mean,
will take
if
place.
it's
You
just
don't
bad
just
management-
mismanage that much in money.
But well, yes
and if
and
you
no,
do,
right?
why are you
If
living
it's-
in that type
if they're
of neighborhood? You're
mismanaging $50,000 a year, that's super. Like, I mean, you figure $50,000, you divide that out monthly. It's like, I mean, I could totally see you mismanaging $4,500 a month.
Yeah.
Like, if you're
But that's on
not,
top of the other expenditures, though.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, you're talking like we had to have 80,000 in landscaping a year, like contracts for that.
That sounds
That-
legit. I mean, just
that's
this
not
parking,
crazy, 'cause
this parking lot, like. You see all of our great landscaping.
Yeah.
It's
All the rocks are
it's
really
super
nice.
irritating. But they charge. They say it's like $79,000 or $80,000 for this
You got the
parking lot.
irrigation specialists.
Yeah.
Check them out twice a year.
I hope you're going to P. Diddy parties because you might need a lot of that oil and lube.
Oh wow! Oh, every year they really they have a fun.
I mean, that's not like the big question. The big question was receipts and transparency, right? Like everybody, if you're taking money from somebody, you expect to be notified and know what you're paying for. And the board couldn't do that. They couldn't provide receipts. We didn't know if we were getting the best bids possible.
Did they even get bids?
Did we even get? No. That's been uncovered already.
Yeah.
Isn't that part of your bylaws?
It
like,
is.
Like your bylaws.
Yeah, you gotta get three bids, yeah.
You like almost every single HOA. Like I'm not a big fan of HOAs in the first place, but like almost every single one of them will tell you that like you have to do this, this, and this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's the biggest thing right now too is like our neighborhood is operating off the original builder bylaws from 2003.
But that's
It's not typical. Normally, you rewrite your bylaws after about 20 years
Or at least update them.
or update them. We're literally operating word for word.
I enjoy having elective HOA. So I pay. I think it's like $40 or $50 a year to the elective HOA, and I do whatever I want. It's pretty amazing.
yeah.
I built a little house in my
Oh,
backyard.
you braggart. That's funny.
Yeah, I just
Mike's
built
like,
it.
I'm in an HOA.
I just
can't do
I
anything
showed
in
you
mine.
I showed you the deck I built.
Yeah.
I put cement steps going up to my front door, and he's like, what do I want to do now?
Everybody's looking like, man, you bastard.
The two most thankless jobs in America are probably HOA board and fantasy football commissioner.
I tell you what, my heart goes out to the fantasy football commissioner. The HOA board, though, there's something wrong with you to want to do that.
I didn't want to do what I did.
That's
it was
what I'm
terrible.
saying.
It was horrible.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what
And I was
it's-
president.
yeah.
That was dreadful.
Right.
Like,
You didn't enjoy it?
Not in the least. It's
No.
like a root canal twice.
the only like for you, I could see wanting to do it just to simply get your name out in the whole neighborhood that you are the loan officer, right? Like I could kind of see that. Like, hey,
I didn't do it for that reason.
I know.
Mike doesn't strike me as the guy that would do it for that reason.
Yeah, no.
I could totally see Mike doing it though.
Yeah.
I did it. I won't do it again.
Some people take that to heart. I mean, I have nothing personal against the guys that got voted off. I don't know if I can't physically say that someone was wrong or that they did something. Like I said, it could have been just mismanagement of funds. Like we got money, just throw money at the problem. Oh, we got this broken, let's just fix it. But to not give, after serving for 8 and 6 years, to not give some sort of like, hey, thanks to the community. And as soon as that vote went down and they knew they were out, they were gone.
Well, why would they serve for that long?
Exactly.
There's nobody in their right mind wants to be on that board unless they're getting compensated.
Power tripping or stealing money.
That's
That's a thankless job.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
But the power tripping thing is like more common than not.
That's not a lot of power in an HOA board.
I know, but man, like some of those people that get that job, they really love that stuff. Some of those people.
they like to feel like the El Presidente,
Yeah, the
El Jefe Litwin going around snooping on people's property.
It's kind of like
You gotta move that flower pot. I'm sorry.
It's kind of like working for BNI. Like tell me you suck without telling me you suck at life. Not you. I'm not shooting. I'm not shooting shots.
Oh wait,
at you.
Mike runs the BNI.
No, I joined a BNI because somebody solicited me to join. John Hanson.
Oh my gosh.
Who's no longer on it.
So wait, you're a runner and you're HOA president. So were you like running by properties and you're like, that's a strike?
No, I was not that guy.
Mike
That's a
ran with
strike.
the notepad.
Okay, so normally when I run, it's dark because I can't. It's too damn hot here to run during
Yeah,
the
it
day.
is.
He's all, hey Siri, log this note for me.
That lights out.
1-7.
Those Christmas lights are too big.
But yes, it was a. We'll see what happens. I think it was just mismanagement. I don't think they really wanted to do their job and just threw money at problems.
I mean,
Well, that's not fun.
But
I do think it's probably easy to mismanage $50,000 a year. Like
yeah,
when you're doing like
Yeah.
I mean, because you have a pretty big community.
we're about 988 homes.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot.
I mean,
It's
you're
huge.
a pretty big community. You have a lot of shared spaces that the HOA is responsible for. So it's like, oh,
You got the park and the pool. That's
yeah,
about it.
it's like
That's about it. Yeah.
But you figure, okay, every freaking freeze, you're replacing a pump, you're replacing this, you're doing this. Just pool maintenance itself is expensive, and I mean,
but that's part of the budget. That's not the old.
no, but the pumps going out and stuff that could definitely be something.
That usually
And-
comes out of that replacement fund.
And if you're not doing your job and getting like the 3 bids, you might be getting hosed because like some of these contractors are awful and they're like, oh, is this an HOA? It's like, yeah, it's like 40,000. You know, it's 40,000. It's
We'll see if it sticks. Oh, look,
and that's what it's any place. Any place will tell you 40,000.
oh, you want to do it? You want to go with it? I can fix it right now.
Ooh, ran into some issues. I had no idea there was going to be like, some cement right over there under the thing. Looks like another $7,000-8,000. But don't worry. I mean, I'm giving you guys the discount because, I know that y'all are, strapped and you need to get this done.
John sounds like a salesman.
I just have listened to these contractors so often. And you're just like, mm-hmm.
But I mean, we started the year off with like 90, about 100,000 in that replacement fund, and now we're down to about 12,
Oh, wow.
and nothing in the operating expenses. So that neighborhood that was operating off of $75 a quarter, $280,000 a year just 3 years ago, now taking $99 a quarter, and we're broke.
Well, I mean, things are 30%, 40% more expensive than they were.
Yeah, but I mean,
if your dues didn't go up,
dues went up last year. They tried to increase them this year. It got stopped because the management company that we hired,
now that's a whole different.
homeowners
subject.
started piping out in the middle of the meeting while they're trying to raise dues, asking, hey, what are we raising dues to? Because the board unanimously voted yes and didn't tell anybody how much they were raising the dues by. So everybody's like, hey, I want to know like what you're raising our dues by. And everybody started on jumping. And the property management company that was hosting the meeting just ended the meeting, like shut the meeting down.
Sounds like city councils around America.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Who's your property management company?
RM.
RM. They're all a bunch
So-
of snakes.
I would love to get
They're worse than attorneys, I think.
I probably want to. I need to look him up. It's the Shirts city manager. He was one of my professors. The only class I got to be in that MBA program. Thank you for
Professor
that.
Shirts.
Oh, wait, like you had C's and 1B?
No, I had all A's or A
okay.
minuses.
Oh,
Yeah, and then
okay,
I got to
okay.
be in management of public budgets.
Okay.
Only class I got to be in. But he was my professor. He was the city manager of Shirts, and they have some interesting ways of looking at a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's not so when you come from like a business minded like drive top line, this is like our whole goal is to increase EBITDA and like you know what you're trying to accomplish with your business. The whole philosophy is completely different, where it's like we're trying to maximize public services. That's their whole goal.
Yeah.
To maximize public services.
Right.
And you're just like, but who says like
That we need maximization of public services.
Who are we servicing?
no, it's just a different way of looking at stuff. And you're just like, okay. But like when you start like looking at it from their lens, you can kind of understand why they're doing some of the stuff. And
Yeah.
then even though I don't always agree, I'm like, okay, well that's why they're doing that. But
Here's some trivia for you. Did you know that America's first money, it didn't say "In God We Trust"? It said mind your own business.
No, it didn't.
It did. Look it up. Google it. Search it.
What?
Mind your own business.
Mike wants to take that to the bank.
And the fact that the statement was that let us run our own lives. Your job is not to be digging in our lives. And nowadays it's gotten so overblown and bloated and it controls the whole facets of our lives. Mind your own business.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Bam.
On
Google
another,
it. Look it up.
on another topic, what's going on with DeAndre Hopkins?
Chiefs just cheating as usual.
He's just, yeah, I mean, they're like, hey, we're 5-0. Let's make sure
6-0, aren't they?
Or, 5 or 6, I don't know.
Something like that.
6-0.
6-0.
Yeah, because
But they haven't lost a game. They're the only undefeated team.
I'm a Browns fan. I don't want to talk about football today.
Why are you a Browns fan?
Yeah,
That is
I
just
wouldn't
terrible.
want to talk about football ever if I was a Browns fan.
I wouldn't even admit to being a Browns
For the
fan.
last 2 decades and the next decade, I don't really want to talk about football.
I mean, for God's sake, y'all are located in Cleveland.
Yeah, that's where my dad's from. So
Cleveland
it was-
rocks.
the curse was passed on. I'm probably gonna
But
create.
what's cool about Browns fans is you guys are loyal.
Yeah, it's back.
And same thing with you Bears fans.
Hey, we're 4-2.
And like some of us Cowboy
good,
fans
too.
are loyal.
Yeah, y'all lost like week 2, and it's like season's over after week 1. This
But
is
y'all
our
just-
year.
Y'all just got a dub this week, didn't y'all, on Thursday night?
No, we didn't play that, so we definitely
Oh, I thought-
didn't
That's a
lose.
win.
We didn't
That's a
lose this
win.
week.
That's a win.
I tell
Hey,
you what, though, that one meme that was like bye week 21, Dallas Cowboys 7. I'm like, yeah,
That's about right.
well,
That's the
so
week the scandals come out.
at the
Ineligible player.
At the beginning of the season, I was just like looking at our roster, like before the season started. I'm like, man, this isn't going to be a great year for them, just because we didn't do what we should have done in the offseason. And
Fire
and,
Dak Prescott.
I mean,
If you guys
I
had-
don't disagree with
If
that.
you guys had Derrick Henry, Dak Prescott would be doing a lot better.
That's It's like so. I definitely don't agree that he should be the highest paid quarterback in the history of the NFL.
Isn't Love take it over that spot? I think he did.
It's still up
Who's
there.
Love?
Jordan Love.
No,
Okay.
Jordan. Oh,
Well,
Packers.
Still
Pack.
paid way too much.
Yeah, he is.
I don't hate him, but it's like you paid him way too much. Hadn't done anything.
Why are they paying him so much? I mean, look at Mahomes. Mahomes doesn't even make
It's
that much.
because Andrew Berry, the GM for the Cleveland Browns, reset the quarterback market when he guaranteed $230 million, the first largest guaranteed contract in the history of the NFL. So that reset the quarterback market. Every quarterback better than him had to get paid more than him, guaranteed more.
So the Browns are responsible for this whole debacle.
Which honestly was a brilliant move if Deshaun Watson paid off, because after we restructured his contract, we now have $90 million in free cap space, which is the most in the NFL. So
And
assuming
you need every dollar of it.
right now we do, because now if we release him, we'll have $170 million dead cap liability, which you can't even sustain a team like that.
Wow.
I'm at a point in the Browns fandom where I think I'm going to just start creating jerseys for my own respective fantasy teams, and then just cheer for my fantasy team every year. Just kind of secretly watch Browns games in public places and just kind of hope they do good.
Do they even show them in public places? I mean, if they want any business, they might not want to show that
Way to
game.
punch down. Way to punch down.
Hey, it's all right. My Saints aren't doing much better. I thought we were good.
Yeah, for
but
the
we're
first
not.
couple of weeks.
So you guys,
It's been rough.
You guys are the Saints are a great team, and they've been decimated
When
with
we're all
injury.
together.
And it's like the Cowboys. Same thing with the Cowboys. Like they're not a great team,
Yeah.
but like they be decent right now, except for like the defense has been decimated. The running has been a big problem. It's like we don't really have a good running back.
I mean, you got Zeke back.
But Zeke's over the hill.
He looks like he put on about 50 pounds.
It's like well, why not get Emmitt Smith back?
Yeah.
That one commercial, yeah.
Did you see the commercial? Isn't he in a commercial?
Yeah, Jerry Rice, Emmitt Smith. Who else is sitting
Troy
around?
Aikman, isn't it?
Oh, was it Troy? I don't
No,
think it was
it was-
Troy. It was 4 guys.
Oh, it was
Oh,
Peyton Manning.
No, not Peyton Manning.
Ernst is just shooting off shit.
Is it Elway? I think it's Elway. No, not Elway.
Favre.
No.
Vince Lombardi.
Quarterback for the Dolphins.
Tom Landry.
Samsonite. It's on the briefcase.
What commercial are we
I think
talking
it's for
about?
Doritos.
Yeah, it's a Doritos commercial.
Bunch
There's
of
like
4 old pros, and they're like, let's get back in the game.
they shot it at a game too, because everybody was questioning why he was dressed up as the quarterback. But they were shooting the commercial during the game.
Dan Marino, that's what it is.
When they're coming out of the tunnel.
Dude, you're almost as bad as my wife. So for a while, every blonde actress was Gwyneth Paltrow. Like she's like, is that Gwyneth Paltrow? I'm like, no, just because she's blonde doesn't mean it's Gwyneth Paltrow.
It's because I watch football.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Ernest is like,
Is that Ella Peyton Manning?
he's like Peyton Manning. Yeah, he was in that. No, it was his brother Eli.
Archie.
Dan Marino. Dang, I was close.
Messi, Lionel Messi, obviously.
Come on, guys. It's got to be Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh yeah, what are you guys Ronaldo or Messi guys?
I'm a Messi guy.
You're a Messi guy.
I could care less.
They don't
I
watch
couldn't care
soccer,
less.
so
All right, fair enough. Leave it to the Brown
they don't
guys.
watch the real football.
I wouldn't go
They
that
watch
far.
egg handball.
That's not enough.
Yeah, I'm
Not a football fan.
again.
You know,
If they would stop the tying, I'd get a whole lot more into it.
you know what
just
you might like
penalty kick,
watching?
Penalty kick every single end of game. It's like 1-1. Okay, cool. Penalty kicks until somebody wins.
Yeah,
Like-
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't stand, like, I literally sat here for 90 minutes and the score's 1-1. Like,
It's kind of
I'm
like
gonna
baseball.
cuss. I'm gonna cuss. Fuck this. Like, it's 1-1. What the fuck? Like,
I think put some consequences to it.
We don't want to go down this rabbit hole again, but football games do in like 2-1.
yeah, if every single game ended like that, it'd be awful to watch. Like, so 7-7, you're right, is like 1-1 basically, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, if every single game was 7-7, 7-14, I'd be like, man, this is boring as shit. Like,
It's the flopping for me.
yeah.
You know, like you barely.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they're riding around in pain. I
Every
like those a
week.
lot. Was that the one that person jumpers are looking at?
McDonald's E. coli burger. Get it right now.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, cool. I never killed anybody. Well, maybe it did.
Sweet and sour sauce is a hit. Huge sweet and sour sauce guy.
You just douse it in sweet and sour.
Yeah, man, you can put it on dog shit and I'll eat it.
Or put it on an E. coli burger.
On an E. coli burger.
Numbs the death away.
Stock market. What's going on with stocks?
I just don't.
Mike, what's going on in the world of mortgage?
So stock market, nothing makes sense in the stock market right now. It is jacked up higher than it's ever been, and it's like, wow, that makes no sense. Okay, cool.
Have you ever seen like Rain Man? Where you're just sitting there going, Wapner at 4? Wapner at 4. That's what I feel like right now. The bond market's just getting killed. Rates are going up. We're higher now than we were before they did the rate cut. I can't figure it out. The only thing I can figure out is that the fact that we are spending so much money as a country. We're issuing so many treasury bills to cover our debt that supply and demand, they're selling so much junk bonds, but rates are going up fast.
Yep.
In the mortgage side.
And the mortgage side.
So you think a crash is coming?
Not yet, no. Still saying no. Now, as far as the economy, I mean, there's so many false numbers out there.
I would think we're already in a depression.
They just won't call it
bigger
that.
than the Great Depression.
Think so already? Lots of homeless people, that's for sure.
There's a lot of homeless people, a lot of people behind on bills, a lot of credit card debt.
Credit card debt's at all-time high.
It's astronomical.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have like at least 20,000, like get out of here.
I'm trying.
John's like, I'm not your average American. I don't have $2,000 in my bank. I got 20.
Ooh, no.
I think there was a study that said like the average American family household has only like $2,500 in savings or something like that.
I think that's generous.
Like it's
Less than that.
And that if that's 20% of America, we are in for it.
Yeah. For sure.
Because I mean, if you're managing your funds like our HOA board managed our funds, you're gonna go broke. Like you can't operate off of what you make every year. Like your expenditure shouldn't be what you make every year. And I think that's where we're getting to right now is a point where people have brand new cars, 3 or 4 credit cards.
Rookie numbers.
John's like, I smashed those numbers. John's like, I got
Try
nine.
try 13 or 14.
I mean, everything's so much more expensive now.
It
Oh,
is.
yeah.
It is. Well, in all the numbers are goofy right now. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's like, I mean, just
as President Bush said, they're cooking the books.
Well, it just doesn't make any sense. It's like I'm trying to go down conspiracy theories. Like, okay, well, like what you learned in economics and all this other stuff. It's like, okay, this is what happens when you have an inverted yield curve, and you're like, okay, well, that's not what's happening, so that doesn't make any sense. But okay, okay.
Artificial pumps.
You think it's? I think it's artificial to support the election.
Absolutely.
100%. And when they don't get what they want, and somebody comes in there and corrects the books, it's like, oh, hey, by the way, market's crashed.
That's probably on the agenda.
We are in for a big correction as far as the market goes. No ifs, ands, buts about that.
Speaking of corrections, spoke with a broker friend who's been a Texas broker for the last 30 years, and he is the president of the Independent Brokers of America. And he told me he's got some buddies with the Texas Department of Insurance, TLTA, and he is saying, because I told you guys a couple of weeks back about how Sabor is hiring a lot more compliance officers, whatnot, and so I didn't talk to him about that part, but we were just talking about just kind of RESPA and stuff like that when he did a training for me. And he said that he is anticipating, he's got insider info that TDI is going to be cracking down on a lot of things because they're noticing a lot of Wild West antics that people are doing in order to attract business, specifically title companies. And what's sad about that is that title companies, whenever you get hemmed up, a title company pays $5,000 per incident per violation. Even the man hours to break the law, essentially, that's $5,000 per violation. When a title company makes $2 million in a year, say you got 20 violations, that's just $100,000. But
Cost of doing business.
if the agent gets caught up, now their license is in violation, and now they could lose their livelihood. And it could be for something as simple as asking a title company to print your marketing material with your name and your brokerage on there. And that's been happening a lot. The title companies are just breaking the law to get that business. And so it's just kind of sad to see.
So, but you guys can do all sorts of stuff legally where you're like, hey, let's sponsor this event together.
Because the defining line is that the title company is representing the title company.
Right.
So, for example, when I do marketing materials for an agent, I am printing off open house material that for a succession listing that only markets succession title. I'm not putting that agent's logo, that agent's information, that agent's headshot into that book. That is a violation because I'm marketing the agent in order to get their business.
It's all about fair share.
If I'm marketing Succession, the company, that is completely okay.
Yeah, so if we can do stuff with an agent, it's okay. I can't do stuff for an agent.
Right.
But you can co-brand.
Then you're doing with.
Because I'm marketing Succession, and even then the law states that, for example, if we send out a flyer and Succession Title markets something with an agent, the safe way to go about it, let's say one card, the back of it has 4 quadrants, right? And so that's 1/8 of the card, that one corner on the bottom left side. So we would pay 1/8 of that cost. That's how particular they would be to actually break that down to make sure that you're within compliance or not.
Just think of fair share.
Yeah. So
if he's going to print it, I can supply the paper. That's my 50%.
But even the man hours of me printing that off is actually a violation as well.
That's so stupid. Well, because so in my mind, it's like if you're gonna do open house flyers, right, and you're throwing your logo and like that sexy mug of yours, like Gary Succession, on a flyer, like in my mind, I'm like I should be able to pay for this because I'm doing this with Ernest Enriquez's for Ernest's open house. You know what I mean?
I mean, ideally that makes sense, right? But when you leave that much room open for interpretation, we somehow go from that to paying for a vacation. And that's pretty much what was started going down is you start paying for agents to go to Cancun, started yada, yada,
I can't
yada.
do that.
Oh, shit. We better cancel our trip, Mike.
And so I've actually run this by, his name is Cass Burton. He basically wrote the book on P53. You can actually check him out on Vimeo. He does a whole seminar on it, dated back like 2014, 2015, I think it was. And I ran it by him. I've had several conversations with him because he's the head of regulatory and compliance for one of our underwriters. And I said, dude, this is happening. I want to know what exactly is my scripting to counter this, because, you know, we're a small mom and pop. We can't even afford those $5,000 fines. You know, these big companies with their shareholders and yada, 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 it's a different story for them. For us,
Wells Fargo is like, oh, is it just 5,000? Those are rookie numbers. They're like, go ahead and slap us with a $1 billion fine. We don't really care.
But that's not like that with us, you know. So I gotta really be on my shit.
It's like every time I open up like a news something, it's like Wells Fargo getting fined again. You're like, yeah, that sounds about right.
See, but that's the crazy thing that's always like really amazed me about Texas real estate, because I'm licensed in Washington too. Mm-hmm. And in Washington, that was like 7 years ago, where they put the hammer down on mortgage lenders, title reps, everything like that, and basically boiled it down to fair share.
Yeah, it was the CFPB that came out 2016.
So it's funny how far behind Texas is. Like the business that we started, there's 10 of them up where I operated.
Yeah.
None in San Antonio. So Texas real estate is like 10 years behind, which is crazy. So I'm in the future, I guess.
Do you have a DeLorean?
Where we're going, we don't need roads. So, I mean, I see home prices, I'm seeing a pullback already of about 6 to 10% is where I'm at here in San Antonio till they sell. But
Dan Pipes, or is it Bill Pipes? One of the Pipes.
Mr. Pipes.
Mr. Pipes.
He projects based off of a couple, he calls it the crystal ball of projecting interest rates. He projects middle of 2025, we're going to see 5.5%.
I would agree. Normally, I would agree with that. I just don't know anymore.
Yeah.
He could wake up tomorrow and then be there.
I got a funny feeling that it's going to be a crapshoot. I think that's exactly what it is. He just looked at a crystal ball, because I'm not going to say he's wrong, because I don't know. It could be a 5.5, but.
So I'm no Mr. Pipes. I'm definitely not as smart as him when it comes to real estate and whatnot, but he did show the data and compare that the 4 aspects that he used. I think one of them is like the consumer price index and yada, yada, yada. But he compared his previous projections based on that data to how it actually panned out, and he was eerily close to that. But maybe he's not accounting. Let me backtrack. He actually did account for the inflated unemployment numbers also too when he actually did that data. So, but he may not have accounted for the artificial pumps that we're kind of talking about. Yeah. Because if you think about what funding's going, we're still paying the shit out of Ukraine. I think we just paid them a little bit extra within the last month. And then we left all that military equipment, tens of billions of dollars in Afghanistan. Yeah. So now we have to replace that stuff and probably hire engineer things in order to counter the reverse engineering that, Syrian allies are using to reverse engineer the stuff. It's a shit show.
Well,
for sure.
I mean, the other thing too that a lot of people don't account for is that homes are super inflated right now still. So if we're gonna get those interest rates, we need inflation to come down quite a bit.
Yeah.
That's why I say home prices 10%, 15% hit that benchmark, and maybe interest rates drop.
Yeah.
But
You're saying that they're going to pull back 10%?
They're already starting to.
See, I don't know.
I think supply and demand. I still think we're not building enough houses to keep up with housing formation. So we're adding kids faster than we're adding houses.
Right.
So I think
it's hot in here.
I think yes, it is.
Thank you.
I think in certain areas of the U.S.
Maybe it's your sweatshirt.
There might be a pullback.
Oh shit! I do have my sweatshirt.
I have a hard time believing, because Texas is like people
still flocking.
Flocking here, and so it's like, man, there's just too many people moving here to really see, and it's not like we're. If we were San Diego, I'd be like, yeah, you're probably right. Like fucking like this shit needs to go down because it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house for $1.2 million. Like it doesn't make sense.
Right.
But like when average home in San Antonio is $350,400. It's like I just don't see it going down when people are coming. Like if that switches, then yeah, it's like there'll be a little reduction, but it's just not switching.
And me saying that, I mean, is predominantly based off of activity, seeing the days on market start to rise,
It's definitely going up,
and starting to see those price reductions happen.
Sure.
Like there's people that
The market is definitely shifting for sure.
that are doing $10,000 price reduction. Plus, we're going to pay all your buyer concessions now, and we're going to give you this and that, and it's starting to happen.
We're trying to compete with builders also. Builders
lower interest rates, better incentives.
Yeah.
I mean,
dude, yeah, there's a couple builders out over by Elma Ranch. I won't say their names. 2.99% interest rates, and they're giving $35,000
to the lender of preferred choice.
how is that not steering? But that's beyond
I mean,
Mike's like, I went on that list.
Yeah.
don't poke the bear.
Don't poke the bear.
That's
To your point about more kids being born than houses being built, I want to address that. I heard Elon point out that the American birth rate has slowed down dramatically.
well, that's by. I'm not going there. I'm not gonna jump on that theory.
thanks.
No, it's not a theory.
Thank you.
Well, on that note, I got a hard stop here, guys. I got to get back to the shop.
Spice that tastes like licorice.
Tastes like licorice.
It tastes like licorice.
What is it? How is it?
All I know is ouzo.
We'll talk a little bit about it next week. You've been listening to Homes and Homies podcast.